The pilgrims throng through the city gates while the night is falling. They go to watch on Calvary's hill, where the twilight hours are past. Though dark be the way, eyes of faith, they gaze at His cross above. And lo, how each heart the shadows depart as they listen to His words of love. As they listen to His words of love. Rest I will not forsake thee. I will not forsake thee. I will not forsake thee. Though all else should flee, today, I want to continue part 2 of They Cannot Keep Their Mouth Shut. Yes. And the biggest, the greatest example of someone that could not keep their mouth shut was Jesus. Yeah. And I'll bring the text, talk only about him, not about other people in the Bible that has been persecuted, but Jesus. Yes. What Jesus say and what he has done that produced anger in the world, produced anger, and it still produces because it's not over. It's not over. Whoever that sound like him, make things like him, angers. And it does not hold favor among many. Jesus has said this in Matthew 24, chapter 24, from 23 to 28. At that time, if anyone says to you, "Look, here is the Messiah," there he is, do not believe it. For false messiahs and false prophets will appear and perform great signs and wonders to deceive, if possible, even the elect. See, I have told you ahead of time. How many prophets came after and say, "This is the way, I'm the way, I have the truth, I have this." It's a big buffet of deceit, yes? But he foretold that those things would happen. But when you hear these things, you get confused and say, okay, but how do I know Jesus is speaking the truth and he is who he is and the others are false? I'll get there. On the verse 26 it says, if anyone tells you, there he is, out in the wilderness, do not go out. or here he is in the inner rooms, do not believe it. For as lightning that comes from the east is visible even in the west, so will be the coming of the Son of Man. Wherever there is a carcass, there are vultures will gather. A multitude gather after the falls, and there are many, many. But what was truly the offense? Jesus confessed some things before Pilate, that time, the emperor, yes, and in front of the Pharisees, the priests, no, some things that angered the priests, but other people has said that today, and after Jesus resurrected, and it was not an offense. So what is the difference then? In John 18, from 35 to 37, he says, Pilate said, "Am I a Jew?" Pilate replied, "Your own people and chief priests handed you over to me. What is it that you have done?" Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place." "Ah, you're a king," then said Pilate. Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. In fact, that's the reason I was born and came into the world, is to testify to the truth, and everyone on the side of the truth listens to me." Many false prophets said that it is the reincarnation of an entity, that they are, or they would not have followers if they did not perform something. Yes, Jesus spoke about the signs and wonders they would do to deceive. But the way they expressed about themselves does not offend a government, does not offend, some people that says to be Christian, does not offend. They take it. They say, "Oh, let's just respect the religion. Let's just respect them." They know it holds no truth. That's why it's welcome. Now I will start unfolding. Mark 14, 61 to 64. But Jesus remained silent and gave no answer. Again, the high priest asked him, "Are you the Messiah, the Son of the Blessed One?" He says, "I am," said Jesus. "And you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven." The high priest tore his clothes. "Why do you need any more witnesses?" he asked. "You have heard the blasphemy. What do you think?" They all condemned him as worthy of death. How many in that time says to be, they had more fear about Caesar, let's say. Even the high priests feared Caesar. They feared a man, just like them. Yes? But what makes the words of Jesus, this confession, the only man that confessed this, it was the only one that offended many, and maybe offended you. It is because of this. Matthew 5, 17, 20. "Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I'm not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Or verily I say unto you, till heaven and there in earth pass, one jot or one little, or neither one tittle jot or one tittle shall with no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. But I say unto you, that except your righteousness shall exceed the righteousness of the scribes and Pharisees, you shall no case enter into the kingdom of heaven. What was the righteousness of the Pharisees? They knew just some external laws, laws given to the people of Israel for, the feasts that they should celebrate, which we could celebrate also because it's memorial of what God has done. If you did something mighty in your family, I'm waiting for God to do something in my family. If he does that, I'll mark that day. It will be a memorial. I will celebrate there to the end of my life as a memorial of what God has done for me. But they did all these things, okay? They gave tithes, that whatever, but the heart did not follow something that Jesus did. Jesus was the one that pleased God. Why? Because he fulfilled the commandments. Yes, now we will enter in the law that offends people. Doing the miracles Jesus did not offend anybody. Having disciples did not offend anybody. Saying he was the Son of God did actually not offend anybody. What did offend it? It was when he says he's the Son of God. They already have seen him practicing the commandments that they cannot practice. And some Christians says to be dead, it is cast on the cross. So Jesus paid it all, so now we can do whatever we want and we are saved. That's a lie. That's a lie. Jesus did please the Father because he did these commandments. I'll read for you. And please pay attention to each one of them. Then you judge that if it is bad thing. Because if all these commandments were done by every single one on earth, every single one, banks, oppression did not need to exist. Yes, actually poor would not exist because people would love the other so much they would share. Yes, there will be no need for salary. There will be no need for a lot of things that our world lives in and afraid to lose. You would not have fear of losing a job. You would not have fear of trying to be greater than the other one, be in a competition. If this law was applied, if this is the law that was applied in your life, that you would do and others would do to you, the world would be perfect. And in fact, will affect even nature, because the ozone layer would not be so big as it is now. Yes, if we have a hole in the ozone layer affecting the planet, is because of greed. It is because people cannot give up on making fortune. Yes, so that is destroying everything. I'll read the law for you and then you judge that yourself, okay? It's in Exodus 20, from 1 to 13, I think. No, to 17. And God spoke these words, saying, and the Lord spoke these words, saying, I'm the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt not have other gods before me. Yes, all the gods. You shall not put a person or anything in his place. Okay, whatever you serve and you think too much and you love too much and you cannot lose, that became a god. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, not serving them, for the Lord thy God, I am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. Today, if you say anything, you say, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh, something like this is saying his name in vain. Where do you learn this? Television, society. It's teaching something he hates. You can see that most movies have this. The question is why? Why to put the name of God in vain in the text of the movie? Why? 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt thy labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt not do any work, not thy son or thy daughter, thy servant, thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, not the stranger that is within thy gates. They say Jesus broke the Sabbath. I never read one verse that says I'm breaking the Sabbath, or we shall do whatever, The only text that some Christians use to abolish this is to say that he healed someone on the Sabbath. Well, he said, shall I let him die while I can do it? The Sabbath was done to make good, to do good. Yes, to rest and to mark that for God, only for him. It's something that has been replaced for Sunday, but that's another story. Yes. People say, no, but God doesn't care about this. Well, if he doesn't, then why Rome did care? Because Rome, a pagan place where it commands the world, it rules the world, actually, they did care to change that. Yes, what is behind them is a spirit. That spirit is interested that you go away from God's will, from obeying him. And I'm not Adventist, okay? So it has nothing to do with religion here. It has to do what the commandments are, yeah? And they are good. Don't you need a rest? If you do not rest on the Sabbath, when are you going to rest? Maybe in a Monday, in a Tuesday. in a Sunday. So you need one day rest. Yes. So he knows that too. Okay. On the verse 11. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth and sea and all that is in them. And he rested on the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Okay? That is God's explanation. Now, 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God give thee. To dishonor our parents is a good thing. No. A Christian should stop doing this. No. You shall stop doing this. No. It is good. Even if your parents does not deserve. Yes. Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. What are the promoters? What are the prosecutors in courts? False witness. Because they get paid to do what? To make you be guilty in front of the court. And they feel very proud of that job. It's like, wow, I'm good. This guy was innocent, but I convinced people that he's guilty. Can you see the dirt? Can you see the cruelty? Yes, they are paid to do that. But it says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. And they say they are Christian. A prosecutor cannot be a Christian. He has to decide, or he is follower of Jesus, or he is not. But he can't be both, okay? It's a job that it will condemn them. It will. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet the neighbor's wife, or his manservant or maidservant, or his ox, or his ass. Not ass. Ass was an animal, okay? Not ass. Ass. Not anything that is in thy neighbors. And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise and the trumpet in the mountain smoking. When the people saw it, they removed and stood afar off. Okay, this was the law. That was the law. But the first one, now I make also a comparison here of what was written in Deuteronomy 6 from 4 to 7. This is in the Old Testament, much earlier than Jesus, yes? And what Jesus said in Matthew 22 from 37 to 40. It's the same thing, and it's the law. Here, O Israel, in Deuteronomy, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. And these words which I command you today shall be in your heart, and you shall teach them diligently to your children, and shall talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Now what Jesus said, this Jesus that people say that took this law down, okay? Jesus said to him, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. So he said the same thing. This is the first and the great commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. The prophets that were God's prophets, okay? Not false prophets. All these Exodus 20, when I read for you the 10 Commandments, it doesn't say here to shall love your neighbor as yourself. So where did Jesus got this from? Yes, it's when I say, thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not commit adultery. It's against your neighbor, yes? When you commit adultery, you throwing your wife, your husband in adultery because they will get another person. In God's eyes, this is adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Yes? You steal from who? From your neighbor. Thou shalt not bear false witness. You lie to condemn a person you don't even know. Yes? That's your neighbor. You shall not be jealous of what people have. That's against your neighbor too. Okay? And what is about love the Lord with all your mind, heart, and soul? It's when you keep His commandments and keep His day. Yes, but keep His day not selfishly, not the way the Pharisees did. Yes, but acknowledging and being memorial of His creation. And do not have idols. Do not love something in His place. No? This is to love God with all your mind, all your heart, and all your strength, and all your soul. Well, if you do this, what is it called today? Religious. You're religious. But this is not the thing that the world needs. Is it not the thing? If everyone would do this that God said to do, nobody would be in need. No. There would be no betrayal. There would be no murdering. Yes. And many, many other crimes. Police would not exist, have a need to exist. Okay? So that's, I continue. And today I brought Jesus. I brought why He is hated. And people that follow the same. So, but what offended truly the Pharisees were that He said who He was, but they saw Him doing the commandments. Then one thing connected to the other, and they said, no, that cannot be true, because I cannot do this. I don't want to do this. So let's kill Him, okay? Maybe you're doing the same. You're not doing physically, but you did that in your spirit, in your heart. So someone that it is like Jesus, you don't like, and you don't want to associate and show others that you're associated with that person. Yeah? Okay, and yes, the life who wants Him is a ballet. It has to be like a ballet. But everybody can dance. Yes, even the fat ones. Have a good Saturday and try that at home.